Here's a quick guide on how to install Flame and make Dungeon Keeper 2 look a little bit better. First off, locate where you have Dungeon Keeper 2 installed. For Steam users, go to your Steam library and search for Dungeon Keeper. Then go to Dungeon Keeper 2, right click, manage, and browse to location. Next step is we're gonna download the latest version of Flame. Therefore, either click the link in the description or go to GitHub and search for the Flame mod. Here, I already have opened it, so here's Flame. We now want to go to Actions. The latest version for me is the Edit Welcome window settings. Whatever is on top, just select this one. Make sure that you're logged in with your GitHub account. And we want to download the latest version here, not the debug one. So I'll click the download button. Say save. And we're gonna go to the folder where we have downloaded it. Then we can close this window and close the library. And have the folder where Dungeon Keeper 2 is installed and the zip file. We grab the entire content from that zip file and drop it right in that folder. And say overwrite everything. In my case, I already have Flame installed previously, so we'll just overwrite everything. And now Flame is installed. When you start Dungeon Keeper either from Steam or directly from this exe, the launcher will open. Say yes. In the launcher, I go to S like settings, and there you can change the resolution to 1080p and also the menu display resolution. I will also set to 1080p. The GOG patch will be disabled, but that's normal. Either way, I click on OK and click play. In the main menu, you see the text is a little bit smaller, but also looking sharper. Here go to single player, skirmish. And here you can also see that everything looks a little bit weird. I'm pretty sure Dealight will adjust that. Either way, you can go to game settings and also have to check where you want to change something. Like if I want to turn on salamanders or turn off, I have to click like that and adjust the numbers. Like so, clicking somewhere around here. So it's a little bit finicky, but yeah. Also can change the game speed like that. And when I'm okay with that, I click yes and start. In game, you can see everything looks a little bit sharper. The numbers are a little bit bigger than usual. Also, the map doesn't fit properly to that image. It sticks out a little bit. Also, the cell button is misaligned, as well as the zooming out button or zooming in button. In the main menu, you can also see smaller text and bigger numbers. And here on the define hotkeys, everything is a little bit small, but it still does work. And here are some settings I like to change. First off, here I set to unset because I will change it later. At all options, I will activate 32-bit everything. You should see a side-by-side comparison from with it being enabled and disabled. Next up, I would enable the art and the file patching, which allows modding. I can also show you the bump mapping to be enabled and disabled. It changes the root a little bit and isn't compatible with some other settings, but later on. I also like to enable the engine fix, I guess. And there's also FE and FE3D. I have no clue what it does, but FE does crash your game, FE3D does not. I also like to enable the high-res textures. And that's pretty much all DK2 settings. Now for the Flame settings, first off, you can change to the recommended settings where those in-game images and fonts are better aligned. Like I like to use it to 1600 to 1200. The menu resolution I like to set to the default just because everything is nicely aligned. The single core usage you can activate or deactivate. Sometimes it does crash, sometimes it doesn't. You have to experiment with that. And that's everything in the Flame tab. In the GOG tab, I usually want to disable it because it usually doesn't work well with Flame enabled. Sometimes it does. For me, I disable it. In the registry, I go to config and ignore that. I'll also ignore the network. In config player, I will also ignore that. Config sound, you can enable headphones. I personally don't like it, it's just too loud. And at the videos, there you can just ignore it, but you can enable it. And here at the resolution, I also like to enable it. I don't know if it does work or not, or if it does override something, but I've enabled it, so it just works. And here at the shine water wave, you can't use it with the bump mapping, but you can use it without the bump mapping. The water will look a little bit more busy. I will also put a side-by-side comparison for that. Either way, I personally disable it and press OK, and then you can watch it in-game. If you have any problems launching Dungeon Keeper 2 afterwards, just go back to the simple settings and then click on default. Then press OK and start Dungeon Keeper 2 just to check if it does work. If it doesn't work, it's probably Windows 11 hating on Dungeon Keeper 2. You might want to reinstall Dungeon Keeper and try again. If you still encounter some problems, you have to tinker around with either enabling or disabling the GOG patch, activating or disabling the single core patch or the engine patch. Or slowly work towards those settings you want to activate to see which settings are compatible and which are not. Either way, if you have any further question or need help, feel free to drop a comment down below or join the Keeper Clan Discord. There are more and smarter people than me who can help you out with Flame. I hope that was somewhat useful, and have a good one and see ya. Bye.